Well, welcome back to Turning Pages with Bree. I am so glad you took some time to spend with me today. And y'all, this is like my third time recording this. Hopefully I got it down packed by now, right? So, anywho, I am coming on because I got some book mail. Yes, book mail. And super excited, of course, to share with you the book mail that I got, and also to share some other information on books that I have read and completed on this video. So we're going to jump right into it. Of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe so that you will get notifications of the videos that I put out. And also, please like, share, comment. Give me some feedback if you feel so inclined. But anyhow, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 books. I have 16 books, but I don't have to go into great detail because it's all a part of a series. So let me tell y'all, been on TikTok. Of course, you know TikTok, if you've used TikTok, it can be pretty persuasive. So I have been on TikTok, right? And I have been looking, of course, at different book videos. And this book video kept coming up about this book series called Blossom in Winter. Well, I never heard of it. And so I kept seeing, it pop up in my feed, and they were raving about it. I mean, just talking about how good the series was, and, how, overwhelming everything that was happening in the video, in the book was. And it was just hyped up in my feed anyways. I did come across a few that, said some negative things about it, but the majority of it was real positive as far as how good it was. The series was very interesting. It kept you engaged and all of this and that and the other. So I was like, okay, I'm for it. I enjoy a good romance. And this one has a lot of the things that, I thought I may like. It did say something about the age gap situation, which I don't mind a little bit of an age gap, but this one I think is a really big one. So hopefully this doesn't deter me too much from it. I'll see how this goes. But anyways, let me get right into it. It's by the author Melanie Martins, and it's called Blossom in Winter. This is the very first book. It's about 500 plus pages. The first 4 books are about around that 500 plus mark. And this is like the whole first set of the first 4 books, right? And they all come with each series set comes with bookmarks. So these are the first 4. We have Blossom in Winter, like I said. Then we have, sorry about that, we have Lured into Love. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I don't put anything on the stand there. Then Lured into Lies. That's the next one. And then we have Defying Eternity. That's the last one. So these are going to be your first 4 main stories. And then it has the second part of the series. It's still under the Blossom in Winter. Excuse me, y'all. I'm getting over having the flu. So anyways, it's called Happily Ever After, okay? And it's 4 of these. It's 4 of the Happily Ever After part of the series. And they are much thinner. They are about, let's see, 170 something pages each. So not too bad. Again, I'm not going to go into great detail because I don't want to give anything away, which I can't because I haven't read it yet. But basically, it's about this young girl named Petra and her godfather named Alexander Van Duren. And he, of course, is in her life as her godfather, but they end up developing this relationship. Now, I believe she's 17 when the relationship, or 17 or 18 when the relationship begins. But of course, they had a relationship as goddaughter, godfather prior to, because he is actually her father's best friend. So that in itself is going to be telling you some stuff is going on. I'm just going to read the blurb on the back so that you can hear a little bit. But it says, "We are not meant to be together. I should have known better. And yet." So that right there, you know, leaves enough for you to kind of figure out it's some stuff going on. I mean, some stuff. So anyways, I am excited to get into this series, so much so that I went ahead, because it was a deal, so I went ahead and got the second set, which goes into the relationships of the people that you're introduced to in the Blossom and Winter story. So it has several relationships that are out of that. And it's called the Van Den Bosch series. And I'm just going to show you these. They are all kind of color themed. And I'm not even mad about having the people on the front, because I don't particularly like books that have people on the front, but these do. This is the red series, the red color of it all. Andreas and Roxanne, this is their story. So that's book 1 and 2. And you can see they are chunky. They're about 500 pages. It has this cute little bookmark that comes with each one. And this one says, "The universe has a way of bringing fated lovers together." So that is about their story. And then the next one is the color scheme blue, Dan and Elise. And it has their little blurb on their bookmark. And it says, "No one believes in love at first sight until that special person comes along and steals your heart." Okay. And at the front here, just, I'm not going to read all this, but I just happened to see this and I was like, oh, maybe. And it says, "He's my brother's best friend. He's off limits, and yet." So that's their story. Okay, so since I read that one, then I got to go back and read this, the red one, right? The first one. Okay, it says on the first front of her book, it says, "She's the only one I want, but all she's ever been is a lie." Okay, y'all got that? Okay, and moving right along to my favorite color, green, and that is Julia and Sebastian, their story. And we have on the bookmark here, "Can our marriage really recover from so much hate and destruction?" So we know some stuff is going on there. And on the front of her book, it says, "My wife's loyalty was absolute, or so I thought." And the final one is gold in color. And it's Hannah and Joanne. Or Johan. Okay, and this is their cute little bookmark. And it says, "A secret brought us together, another will destroy us." Okay, so we know that's going to be interesting. And in the front of his book, it says, "While he won her heart, mine was already secretly his." Okay, well, and we're going to see what that means. I don't know what that means. So this is both series I have here of Miss Melanie Martin's Blossom and Winter, and then the Van Den Bosch. And I'm pleasantly surprised at how, like I said, how good the books look in person. They really look nice. I'm going to be happy to put them on my shelf. And I'm just gonna let you guys know exactly how I feel about the book once I at least tackle this first one and see how good it is, so that I'll know exactly how much more I want to read. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I bought the books, so I'm gonna read them. But I, I'm hoping that I really like it, y'all. I really am. So moving right along, so that we won't make this too long. I have been completing a series called On Us. Okay, I've read so far now 4 books in this series. I think there is only 4 books. It's actually 3 books that are named On Us. And then the first book that I read from them was Front Street Porter. And this is by Arthur Nina. And I read these on my Kindle. So anyways, I just completed the 3rd book in the series. And y'all, this was, I was engrossed in their world. I was engrossed in their world. It's, I don't know if you've heard me talk about it, but I'm going to just share with you some of my opinion and some of my thoughts on this series. Basically, it is about 5 brothers, the Porter brothers, and 2 sisters, Avery and Ivy. Okay. And it goes into the relationships that are developed from their dynamics from the 5 brothers and the 2 sisters when they are initially brought into their lives. These brothers pretty much were raised by their oldest brother, which his name is Lake. And he's kind of held responsible for raising the other brothers because their father passes away when they are very young. And I won't go into great detail on that, but I will tell you that that part is very interesting. They do give you a lot of backstory. So if you didn't go and read the very first installment, which is Front Street Porter, which well, I don't even think that's the first installment. I think she has another book that she created before that really talks about the dad in more, gives you more information about the dad. His name was Hassan. But anywho, the Front Street Porter book that I started with, it has the brothers' story while they're younger. They're in their teens. And so you do not have to read that story to read the On Us series, which is just 3 books. But if you want to know more, then you can. But it's not necessary. And I'll be honest, I would have been okay without reading it, to be honest. I mean, out of all of the books, you know, just now that I've read them all, I could have done without it and been okay with it and still enjoyed the series. So, but anywho, the main character is Lake Porter. All right, so as I was stating, the Front Street Porter book is not something that you would have to read, okay, in order to read the On Us series. And basically, what you are getting is a lot of detailed information with these brothers and how they grew up without having a real parental guidance in their life. And the 2 girls, not daughters, but the 2 girls that are in the book, Avery and Ivory, they are also without parental guidance. Their mother that was in their life basically doesn't play a role in their life. And it's very dysfunctional when she did play a role in their life. And on the flip side, with the brothers, with the Porter brothers, their father did play a significant role in their life and bringing them up. But however, he died when they were quite young, and he instilled taking care of them, or he instilled in his oldest child, Lake, the responsibility of taking care of his brothers, his siblings, to basically stand in the gap for him and to do what he would have done had he been able to continue to live. And so from that, you get this whole dynamic of how people will be without having a real parental guidance, and basically just having the streets be their role model, you know, in being put in the position to develop the sense of responsibility, of how you handle being in a relationship outside of the relationships that they have, and within their own relationships, the dynamics of the brothers themselves, that relationship or those relationships, and how they are developed. It is well written, to me, in my opinion, how she develops their characters, how she explains the relationship between each of the brothers and their relationship with women, and the different types of women that they have relationships with. It deals with a lot of mental illness. It also deals with sexual abuse. So if you are the type of person that is possibly triggered by that, again, this may not be the best read, because it does go into somewhat in depth, not too engrossed in it, but it does definitely touch on it heavily. Sexual abuse. It does have spicy scenes, but it's not overly done. I will say that, but it is aggressive in certain aspects of when she writes about it. So definitely gonna have some spice in there, but it's not overly done, in my opinion, at all. It's appropriately placed within the stories, but it is dramatic. Some of the spicy scenes are a little bit more spicier than you may want to know. But anyways, it tells the story, and it's needed in certain parts in order for the story to develop the way it needs to develop, right? So it definitely keeps you intrigued, or it keeps you interested and engaged to want to continue to read. I felt that about all three stories, all three books. So much so that each book left you with a cliffhanger, so you want to go to the next one. And the final book, the book 3, it did not, but you definitely feel like, hey, I could read more about them, because I've been in their world, so I am interested to kind of just find out how things further progress along with the Porter brothers, and with their relationships that they have developed as adults, and all the things that has entailed, because now they have children, and it's just a lot going on. But I think Nina did a great job. She has now dropped the next series that's kind of like a spinoff of that series. Well, she's dropped the next book, and it's called Just Us. And so, okay, so I apologize. I have had to try to re-record and re-record and re-record, because I keep running out of space on this phone. But anywho, on to what I was trying to wrap this up about. The author has, again, brought out another series, a spinoff of the Anna series, which is called Just Us. She's started with book 1, and I have already downloaded it to my Kindle, so I'm excited to go ahead and get to read that one. And also, of course, excited to continue to finish up reading a few books that I am currently in the middle of, and we'll talk about that on the next video. Just wanted to share with you what I have wrapped up. I actually have also completed, I think I completed another book as well. But anyways, I'll leave that, and we'll talk about that on the next video, because I don't want the videos to be too terribly long, but I do want to keep, you guys engaged, and I want to keep to my commitment to try to make sure that I am recording and getting a video out to you guys at least once a week this year. So let's see if I can keep that up. Anyways, again, please like and subscribe to the video, or subscribe to my channel, and comment. Give me any feedback that you deem necessary for me. Of course, I do this because I just enjoy it and I think it's fun, and I like to share what I've read and what I've bought, because those are two different things. Reading is one hobby, and then buying books is another, if you didn't know. But anywho, thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next one.